us now on the program is the Executive Director of Midtown Detroit Incorporated, Susan Mosey, with us now on the Oakland County Megacast. Susan, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on the program. So first, can you tell us a little bit about your organization, its background, and some of the services that it provides in the community?
Sure. We're a nonprofit planning and economic development agency for two districts in Detroit, Midtown and New Center. And our organization has been around really since 1976. We provide real estate development services, all kinds of housing support services for residents. We do all kinds of infrastructure, public space maintenance, special events, arts, big arts programs. So pretty much, a true community type organization with a very broad mission.
So how did your organization then get involved in the design and the and kind of the new thoughts surrounding New Center Park and the projects that's been going on there to really enhance New Center Park and attract people from within the city of Detroit, but also surrounding areas to New Center Park?
Yeah, so we actually own 3 parks in New Center, and we have rebuilt and manage another 3 parks for the city of Detroit in Midtown. So we're very active in public space and green space, both on the development side and on the programming side. We think it's absolutely critical for our residents to be able to have like safe, beautiful, climate-friendly spaces to spend time in. And New Center Park is a pretty fully loaded performance park. We have a conservancy, we have a bar, we have a full liquor license, we have a concert stage, we have film screens. So this park, different than our others, which are mostly more your standard recreational or passive green spaces, is really an active space for the public. So during COVID, of course, we didn't operate anything for a couple of years. We reopened last year for some minimal programming, but we knew the community really wanted us to reopen for public programming this year. So we decided to really focus on our Friday nights throughout the summer months and really try to make them into great experiences for families. So we have a whole big series of really fun family movies. We oftentimes combine all kinds of giveaways or fun thematic activities for the kids before these movies start. Our gates open at 8 o'clock. People can buy local goods for purchase for eating. We give free popcorn away to everyone who comes. So it's just a really nice laid back night for people in a beautiful setting. Park's located right across from the Fisher Building. It's just a really beautiful space at night. Beautiful lighting, beautiful architecture, really nice mix of families that come and attend these events. We also started adding theatrical performances a number of years ago because we found out there was a huge interest in families in live theater. So we have the Black and Brown Theater coming this year. Every year we sort of have a theater company we adopt and we help defray their costs to present. Last year we did Detroit Public Theater. The year before that we've done a number of performances with Shakespeare in Detroit. So this year we're doing Black and Brown Theater. We asked them to develop something really fun for families. So they're going to do a new adaptation of Rapunzel. And that will be going on for 3 nights, July 29th, 30th, and 31st. There's some daytime and evening performances. All of this information you can find on our newcenterpark.com website. So next year, we're even talking about adding additional nights, probably doing some music programming, maybe some dance since we have a very nice stage, and really trying to hear more from the community about how they'd like to really utilize the park. So that's kind of what's up for this year.
It's one of those great places in Detroit. And that's what's so interesting about major cities, especially a city like Detroit, is you have these pockets of the city that they share the collective identity of the city of Detroit, but they also have their own individual identity and their individual personalities and can attract people that have similar interests or people that are just looking to broaden their horizons a little bit. And that's where something like New Center Park that has so many different activities and so many different events that are open to the public, especially during the summer months when people are getting outside, and especially right now as people are getting more active in the community again as the pandemic starts to slow down. How does that factor into planning for this park and continuing to develop this park over time in order to attract more people to come to these events and engage with the city of Detroit in the News Center area?
Yeah, so we have a committee we put together of some of our local retailers and some of our local consultants that do a lot of bookings for a lot of venues across the city to really try and think about, since we have such great infrastructure at this park, what can we do that really supports some of the other ecosystems out there, especially around our small businesses? So being able to do some small business marketplaces, some fashion shows, some food and culinary events. I mean, those are all things that we're looking to expand to be able to do and utilize. In fact, we have a beautiful conservancy that's part of this park. So we have the ability to do some indoor, outdoor. We have lots of like I said, we have a full bar and, lots of space. We can actually accommodate up to 1,000 people in this park. A kind of a new thing is we're one of the founding members of the Detroit Parks Coalition, which you might not be aware of, but it's a new coalition that a variety of the parks in the city, some are city owned. In our case, three of our parks are owned by our organization, but it's a way for us to come together and leverage what we're all doing together. So we can help market each other's parks. We are fundraising as a group and doing a lot of things to promote sort of the essential role that parks have and play in the life of a city. And that's going very, very well, and I think is a great model for others to look at.
We're joined by Susan Mosey. She is the executive director of Midtown Detroit Incorporated, which oversees News Center Park, which you can learn more information about at newscenterpark.com. That's newscenterpark.com for more information on all the activities and free and fun events you can experience at News Center Park, right on the corner of 2nd Avenue and West Grand Boulevard, across the street from the Fisher Building in downtown Detroit. Susan Mosey was with us on the Megacast, and you have a fun event coming up very recently, of course, this coming weekend from the time that we are interviewing you today. It will be the Juneteenth holiday on June 19th. However, on the 17th, on Friday, 7 to 9 p.m., we have a very fun event going on at News Center Park to commemorate the holiday. Tell us about the Juneteenth event that you have coming up on Friday.
Yeah, so this year we wanted to do something fun to celebrate this holiday. And so we have a great DJ, really a part of the DNA of the city, Gary Chandler, who's going to be coming and spinning all kinds of fun music between 7 and 9. And then 9 o'clock, we're showing Respect. As you know, the Motown Museum is just a few blocks from here, and we're going to be showing that film for the evening. Again, we feel like it's a film and an experience for the whole family.
And then can you tell us about the summer lineup of Friday night films? You mentioned that this Friday it will be Respect, which is a film, of course, about Aretha Franklin, who is a major figure in the history of Detroit on the entertainment side in particular and just in general. But what other films will be coming up this summer at the Friday Night Films down at New Center Park?
Yeah, a lot of them are just real fun animated films for families. We find that those are always extremely popular. So we have Sing 2, we have Shaun the Sheep, we have Mitchell and the Machine, then we try to mix it up with some that are kind of like, a little bit more nostalgic or fun for the whole family, including the parents. We have the latest edition of Ghostbusters, the newer Jungle Cruise, Tangled, Cruella, In the Heights, again, for folks that are really interested in more theatrical, Spider-Man, the new one there, Batman. So just, kind of a mix of the animated and then just sort of more of the blockbuster, kind of really just fun, wide appeal kind of movies for the whole family.
So these events, Susan, are they... what do people have to do in order to attend these events? Are there any fees
these are
associated?
completely open and free to the public, so you don't have to reserve anything. There are gates open at 8 o'clock, pretty much for all the films. Like I say, we have a large capacity here. If you want to buy some sandwiches, some cookies, some wonderful desserts, you'll get free popcorn. You want to buy an alcoholic drink. All of that is there for your experience, and it's a very affordable and fun family evening.
And so you mentioned that the organization you're with, Midtown Detroit Incorporated, they are overseeing this. It is a nonprofit, and so that's of course what's offsetting these costs for these events and allowing them to be free to the public. So with that, how can people, if they want to support your organization and support all these great events that are happening right in Detroit in the New Center area, how can they help support the organization?
Well, mostly we ask people to come to the events that we sponsor because we do get percentages of revenue from those sales. That's probably the most important thing. We also run some other very large events. We run a very large event that was held this last fall called D-Electricity, which is a huge video and light projection festival in our cultural center. Many of your listeners might have come to that. We also host a Noel night, which is a longstanding tradition of over 50 years. That'll be coming back again this December 3rd, I believe, is the first Saturday night in December. We plan to do a large one this year to celebrate kind of the recovery of the districts. So, we're also planning with our cultural institutions a whole series of jazz performances in some of the museums in the month of October. There is the concourse that will be coming into the DIA property this summer, which will also attract a lot of new audience. And of course, the Van Gogh exhibit, which will be coming to the Art Museum beginning in October and running through January, will bring tons of people from not just the metro, but all over the country to see that one-of-a-kind Van Gogh exhibit.
We're joined by Susan Mosey, the Executive Director of Midtown Detroit, Inc., joining us on the Megacast. More information on New Center Park, which we're talking about today, at newcenterpark.com. That's newcenterpark.com. You can, of course, keep up to date with everything happening with nonprofit Midtown Detroit, Inc. by visiting their website, midtowndetroitinc.org. That's Midtown Detroit, INC. .org for more information on everything else that they're doing. So beyond New Center Park, what other projects at this time is your organization, Midtown Detroit, Inc., working on in the New Center area or other areas of Detroit?
Yeah, we own a lot of real estate. We've been redeveloping a large amount of storefront property on Woodward Avenue, just south of West Grand Boulevard, up in New Center. So we brought in the last couple of years a lot of new tenants, including Baba Fair, which is a fantastic African-centered restaurant, Southern Kitchen, Fern, a beautiful clothing boutique, Urbanum, a beautiful home goods boutique, a number of salons, and we have a really interesting writers collective called the Room Project. So we've been working really hard to try to reposition some of the walkable blocks and sub-districts within the neighborhood and really provide sorely needed commercial amenities back into the neighborhood. In Midtown, we, again, own a wide variety of real estate here. We redeveloped a whole block of property on Selden in Midtown, where we brought in the original Barcade out of Brooklyn, who's now a major tenant in one of our buildings, the restaurant Smith & Co., Condados. We opened a beautiful courtyard over there. So, kind of a mix. We do a lot of public space maintenance and plant a lot of trees. This year we got a large grant to plant a lot of new trees in the New Center area to make sure the tree canopy stays really healthy there. So, a wide variety of activities.
More information can be found on midtowndetroitinc.org. That's midtowndetroitinc.org for more information to keep up to date on everything happening at New Center Park, which Midtown Detroit, Inc., of course, runs. That can be found at newcenterpark.com. Newcenterpark.com for more information, including on their Friday night movie night events and other special events such as their Juneteenth celebration coming up this Friday, June 17th. 7 to 9 p.m. It is their Juneteenth dance party with music by Gary Chandler. That's, of course, again, Friday, June 17th, 7 to 9 p.m. Susan, just another couple minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else at this time that would be important for our audience to know or be looking out for at New Center Park or any other properties or projects being conducted by Midtown Detroit, Inc.?
Well, I just recommend that folks really pay attention to a lot of the activities that are ongoing at all the cultural center institutions here. Many times I don't think people really know of all the different assets that are located within Midtown here on the cultural side, whether it's your Detroit Symphony performances that have come back and in person, whether it's your newly renovated IMAX theater at the Science Center that's just reopening. As I mentioned, the big Van Gogh exhibit that's coming. There is all kinds of exhibits ongoing at all of these institutions. So I would really take some time exploring maybe some of their websites to, to sort of keep in touch with a lot of the other offerings here in the neighborhood.
Susan, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us and telling us more about what's going on in Midtown, and of course, previewing that great Juneteenth celebration event coming up this Friday.
Thank you.